So again, we mentioned first by stopping, just stop doing what you've been doing. Um, the other thing, and then, possibly doing the opposite because that can work. The other thing though, I really want to emphasize because I feel in many ways, this next thing that we're going to talk about, attachment, is the underlying issue of potentially all of our problems with our children. Now, that's a bold statement to make, but I've been thinking about this for a very long time, and I can't see where that's not correct. I literally believe that attachment, as we're going to discuss it, is potentially the underlying cause or contributor to all problems with our children. Now, you've heard us talk about many times misbehavior and issues with our kids are symptoms of other problems, right? So when we stop trying to focus our effort and energy on the symptom, which is what too many parenting books do and too many parents in general, they're always trying to fix the symptom. My child is screaming. My child is throwing a tantrum. My child is doing this. And they try to fix that behavior. That doesn't work. That's like putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm. It doesn't work. You have to fix the underlying problem because all misbehavior is a symptom of underlying problem. Okay, so that's the first framework here. One of those, if not the main underlying problem, has to do with attachment styles or attachment disorders. Okay, I just want this to kind of sink in for a second because I want you to be like, whoa, what? What? Really? All? Yes. Because I've been thinking about this for a very long time, and this is backed up by people like Erica Komiser, who is a clinical psychologist. Her stuff is incredible, and she teaches this. It's not just my stuff, she teaches this. So I want to go through the different attachment styles so that we can better understand and so that we can get clarity about how to better approach mentoring our children. Because we're going back to, if I would convince a man of my cause, I must first convince
win.
If I would win my cause, I must first convince him I'm his sincere friend, right? So that's the part we're talking about. We're talking about attachment when we're talking about being their sincere friend. Your children, we've said this again and again and again, want to have the best relationship with you that is possible for them to have. They really do want that, even if it doesn't feel like it, even if you don't believe that.
Even if they say they don't.
What they want, even if they say they don't.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the reasons they say they don't is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so let's dig in. So there are 4 different attachment styles. And I don't want you, Greg's concerned you're going to like glaze over and get a little bit bored. Don't do that. Okay, this is exciting.
You guys.
Relevant.
Stay awake.
When you understand, and we're not gonna drone on. I'm gonna quickly touch on it. When you understand this though, it is huge. It will literally transform your parenting and your relationship with your children when you understand that the underlying cause is related to attachment. And that, here's the truth. Not probably, all of us as individuals and probably all of our children have some sort of attachment. Well, they have one of these attachment styles and potentially an attachment disorder. I had an attachment disorder. I probably still do. Greg definitely did.
What? Why are you throwing me under the bus?
I'm not. I'm just stating facts. Our children have had them. So it's not like a bad thing. It is. It's just the nature of family life and parenting and what happens, because we're all imperfect beings. We're human. We make mistakes. Our parents made mistakes. I mean, like, that's just how it works. But the beauty of understanding this is that this is what can heal our relationships. This is what can heal the world. Seriously.
It can stop generational cycles.
Yes, absolutely.
We have to do that. We absolutely have to be generational cycle breakers.
Yes.
And Rachel and I got so adamant about that because we both had such uh, difficult and challenging childhoods and attachment disorders with our parents. But we are not passing that crap on to our kids.
But I want to be clear here too. It's not their fault per se, because they were working with the knowledge that they had.
Yep.
And my dad was also a generational breaker because his father was an alcoholic and was physically abusive. So, you know, he made improvements, but that still doesn't mean that there weren't attachment disorders there, because he's human and my mom's human. Like, they're human, right? We're all humans, and that's okay. But bringing awareness to this and more understanding helps us to do even a better job. That's the point. We're not here to feel bad or guilty or whatever. We're here to have awareness so that we can do a better job, so that we can have more of the positive outcomes that we want. So, 4 different attachment styles. 1 is secure, 2 is avoidant, 3 is ambivalent, and 4 is disorganized. The likelihood is that each of your children probably fall into one of those 4 categories. And you yourself probably fall into one of those 4 categories. In fact, I mean, it's not likelihood. That's how it is. That's the reality. Okay. So I'm going to quickly go through them. Secure attachment. The core traits of this attachment is that they trust their caregivers will meet their needs. They feel safe in exploring the world around them, knowing that support is available. They regulate their emotions well. So that could be true of you or your children, right? If you feel that way, you have a secure attachment. In children, they cry when mom and dad leave, but they're comforted when they return. They seek comfort when they're upset, and they accept that comfort from you. Okay, that's a key thing. They accept comfort from you. They're confident to explore, but they also check back in with you because you're their secure base. In secure attachment children, you might see cooperative, empathetic, and emotionally. They will be a cooperative, empathetic, emotionally aware. They're able to express their needs and accept limits. They bounce back from stress with your support, because remember, children have to have co-regulation because they do not have the prefrontal cortex, which allows them to self-regulate. They have to co-regulate. You have to show them and teach them how to regulate themselves.
So basically, number 1 is like, it's what we're going for. That's what we're shooting for. They have a really good bond and a really quality relationship with you. They feel safe that you are the most important person in their life.
And
they
that
can
you
come to
will
you.
be there for
They
them.
trust you. They don't feel abandoned. They don't feel like you're unreliable. Like that's a secure attachment is like, okay, things are working out well. I feel safe and good, and I can trust this person.